Evening paper?
Yes.
Anything in it?
No, it doesn't look like it. No. Never mind, dear, early days. It was only a couple of hours ago, after all.
It's getting dark. We should draw the curtains. They will know by now, of course.
Oh, I should think so. Probably 5 minutes after I'd left the school. The chauffeur will be kicking himself, I shouldn't wonder.
They'll be in the paper tomorrow morning.
I expect so.
Tea? So, how are you getting on with the letter?
Nearly finished. Do you want to look?
Oh, yes. Very professional.
I use the Times for the print, because we don't have that delivered.
Very clever.
Shall I read it to you?
Oh, please.
Dear sir, this
Well,
is
that sounds a bit formal, don't you think?
Well, I think...
Oh, I'm not sure dear sir is appropriate under the circumstances.
I've stuck it all together now. I'd have to start again.
Oh, very well. Go on.
Dear sir, this is to notify you that your daughter is in our possession. She is quite safe, and if you follow instructions carefully, she will not be harmed. When you have read this letter, destroy it. Do not tell the police you have received it. We are professional criminals, and we mean business.
That is good.
You will find enclosed a lock of hair to prove that we really have your daughter. Your instructions are as follows. 1. You will put an advert in the personal column of Tuesday evening's Chronicle to the effect that you are willing to oblige. 2. You will get a blue overnight bag with the initials of the British Overseas Airways Corporation, and into this bag you will put £25,000 in used notes. We will inform you later of where and when you are to deliver the money. Any tricks, and you will not see your daughter again. We mean what we say. Signed, Longfellow.
Very good.
Not too much.
Not too much. Well done.
Did you get the lock of hair?
Here, I cut it from her while she was sleeping. Right. I need to catch the last post. Shan't be long.
Well, you could always post it in Clayton, you know. Wouldn't have to go so far. Cold night like this.
No. The plan was to post the letter from central London, which I shall.
Oh. Do you want me to check on the girl?
No. Chloroform won't wear off until the morning. She'll sleep soundly.
All right.
Don't stay up. You must be tired. I've made up a bed on the settee. I'll be fine in the box room. Night, Bill.
Night, Myra. Morning. Are you decent?
Yes.
A cup of tea.
Thank you. You're up early.
Oh, you know me. Couldn't sleep. Rheumatism.
I had the strangest dream.
Yes, dear?
I was sitting on a stool in the centre of a ring of men. All old men. Wearing black wigs, and they were shaking their heads at me.
Funny.
As if they didn't believe me. They kept saying, "Only you know the truth. Only you know the truth."
What do you think that means?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think it must mean that the authorities will never know what happened unless you or I tell them, which we will not.
Of course. Speaking of which, ta-da! Morning paper.
Oh, anything in it?
Well, not much. Headline says, girl missing, the only daughter of Charles Clayton, wealthy chairman of Clayton Industries Limited, was stated last night to be missing from home. Adriana, aged 9, disappeared soon after leaving her school near Barnet. A search party was organised. They don't mention a kidnapping.
It's too early. The evening paper will be different, you'll see.
Adriana, eh? That's posh. Right. I'll get on with breakfast.
Well, good morning, Adriana.
Who are you? Where's Maureen?
Who's Maureen?
My nanny.
All in good time. Do you want some nice scrambled eggs and hot milk?
No,
If you do not eat this, you'll go hungry all day.
I don't care. If you fetch my daddy, I'll eat.
No, you will eat first. Good girl. I suppose you know you're in a hospital?
Am I?
Yes. That is why the room is all white. It's for infectious complaints. That is why you have a room to yourself.
What have I got?
German measles.
Had it.
This is a special type, double German measles. That is why we must keep it almost dark in here with no window. You will have to stay in bed and be very quiet.
Well, how long will I have to be in here?
3 days. Then, if you've been a good girl, very, very quiet, you can go home. All the girls who come here have funny dreams when they're taken sick. The girl in the room next door says she dreamt she left school and was carried away on a big white horse.
I dreamt of a man. We went to a field. It was a motorbike thing and he put a hanky on my nose.
What did he look like?
Well, I can't remember.
That is good. Now you must drink your milk.
You talk funny.
That is because I am a foreigner. French. But that's a secret. You must promise never to tell anyone.
I promise.
Well now, tell me about your house and your own little room. Do you like dolls?
Yes. Bimbo and Sally are my favourites. Can I see my daddy now?
No, your daddy will not be coming.
You promised. You said if I ate all my food.
If you are nice and quiet, you can go home in 3 days.
You're a liar. You're an old cow. I hate you.
Be quiet.
Frenchie.
Every time you make a noise, you will be beaten. Just remember that. Good morning, Constable. Is this the Clayton house?
Yes, can I help?
Well, I'd like to see Mr. Clayton.
You got an appointment?
I think he will see me when he knows my business. It's about his daughter.
Mrs. Savage, I'm Charles Clayton.
Oh, how do you do?
I'm a very busy man at the moment. What is your business?
I have something to say that might take some of the worry off your minds.
You'd better come through. You don't mind if my wife hears this?
No.
Rita, this is Mrs. Savage.
Is it about Adriana? You may think I'm wasting your time and my own in coming here, but I had to come after I saw the piece in the paper this morning.
What have you got to say?
Last night, I had a dream.
Mrs. Savage, half an hour ago, a man stood where you are now, telling me he could find my daughter with the aid of a divining rod.
Charlie, please.
All right. Go on.
Well, as you'll see from my card, I am a medium. My dreams are not without significance.
I'm afraid I'm a skeptic where things of that sort are concerned.
Really?
What was the dream?
I saw a girl sitting alone. She was crying, and I could tell that she was lost.
What did she look like?
Well, pretty girl. Straight black hair, short, in a bob.
That description fits lots of young girls.
But it was the symbolism. The girl was surrounded by clay, Well, I connected the clay with your name. And when she spoke to me...
What did she say?
She mentioned some names. Well, they mean nothing to me, but they might to you.
Please.
Well, first of all, I heard her say... Nanny Maureen.
Yes?
And she mentioned Sally and a bimbo.
Those are her dolls. She's had them since she was little. Charlie.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Savage, but what exactly is it you're after?
After?
I'm a wealthy man. You haven't travelled across London for nothing.
I don't want money. I thought you'd be relieved to hear your daughter was safe.
But she isn't safe.
Oh?
I suppose I can tell you. My daughter has been kidnapped and is being held for ransom.
Oh, how awful.
As I said, I am very busy, but thank you for your time. My wife will see you out. Charles Clayton?
Thank you, Mrs. Savage. You've eased my mind a lot, really you have.
Oh,
yes.
I am glad. And don't hesitate to come and see me if you feel the need. Well, you have my card.
That you, dear? I was beginning to worry.
Has the evening paper arrived?
Oh, you spoilt my surprise. Never mind, kettle's on. I'll make you a nice cuppa, and then I'll show you. There, see? Halfway down. Longfellow, and ready to oblige. Charles.
Good. Is there anything else?
Not much, just the bare details. It doesn't mention the ransom letter.
No. But I think they'll keep quiet about that. Mr. Clayton won't want to endanger the child's life as per the threat in the letter.
All going to plan, then. And your meeting went well?
Yeah. Strangest thing was, when I shook Mr. Clayton's hand, I could tell.
Tell what?
Oh, he has the gift. Supernormal powers.
Really?
Oh, not that he knows anything about it. He can't be highly developed. We didn't make a connection.
Who's that?
Shh. It's the police.
Do we answer it?
No.
Yeah, but if they wake the girl...
Calm down. The last chloroform dose won't have worn off yet. They've gone.
Oh, I thought I was going to have an attack.
Of course, I realise now it was to be expected. As soon as I made myself known to the Claytons, the police would become suspicious.
Well, maybe they wanted something else.
No. They think we may have the child.
Really? Well, they'll be back then.
Of course.
Maybe I should return the girl tonight. Leave her at the shed and you phone the Claytons before the police come back.
No. We agreed. The plan requires a build-up of several days in the newspapers to create a necessary level of interest and excitement. But we will have to change our plans slightly. Go into town tonight, as arranged, to make the call. Only go the back way, in case the police are watching. You know where you're going?
Yeah, Elephant and Castle.
And you know what to say?
Myra, I've got it all written down.
Yes? Charles Clayton here.
This is Longfellow.
Where's my daughter? What have you done with her?
Shut up. You want her back, don't you?
Yes.
Then listen. Have you got the money?
Yes.
Just before 12 o'clock tomorrow, go into Leicester Square. Carry the BOAC bag openly so we can see it. In the northwest corner of the square, there's a row of telephone boxes. Go inside the last one and wait there. Don't do anything, don't use the phone. Just wait. Got that?
Yes. 12 noon. Last phone box, Leicester Square.
Good. And no cops. Or you'll be sorry. Understand?
Have you got the top open?
Just a sec.
Hurry up. She weighs a ton.
Okay. Let me take her. Yeah. How much chloroform did you use?
A couple of drops. Is that too much, do you think?
No, I used the same dose last time. Seems to do the trick. She should be out for hours. It still seems like a risk, taking her.
Not as big a risk as leaving her here if the police come again. You'll need to find somewhere safe to leave her in the sidecar while you make the phone call.
Yeah, I suppose so. Will you be all right getting her room back to normal?
Yeah, I've only to take down the panels over the windows and move some furniture around. I'm sure I can manage.
Righto. Well, best be off.
Back by 2.
Morning. Mug of tea, please.
Right, then, Arthur.
I don't suppose you've got any of the morning papers, have you?
There. Done. That'll be them. Come in. Hello.
Mrs. Savage,
I'm she.
police. I'd like to have a word with you, if that's convenient. We called yesterday, but you weren't at home.
I mean, yes, it is convenient. Come in.
Detective Sergeant Payne. Thank you.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, much appreciated.
I've got a few things to do in town. Would you mind if I left the old motorbike and sidecar outside for a couple of hours till I get back?
Yeah, of course, I'll keep an eye on it.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you.
It's, not about the radio licence, is it?
Oh, no. There's nothing at all, really. Just a check. It's in connection with the little girl who's missing in Barnet.
Oh, of course.
I believe you called in on the Claytons.
Yes, it was because of a dream I'd had.
So I understand. I think you know my wife, by the way. Mrs. Payne has been to 1 or 2 of your seances. We live in Birchgrove.
Oh, that Mrs. Payne. Charming woman. I do not think she mentioned that her husband was a policeman.
Probably ashamed of it. Yeah. Anyway, after your visit to Barnet yesterday, the police there asked us if we'd check on you, character, record and so on. I was able to tell them that you're not known officially to us, but they asked if we'd have a look over the house all the same.
The house?
Well, you could have the Clayton girl hidden here, for all we know. We can't afford to overlook any possibility, no matter how remote.
No, of course.
Now, I don't have a search warrant, so you're perfectly at liberty to refuse.
Not at all. I should be only too pleased to assist. Where should we start?
Hello?
This is Longfellow. Listen carefully. As soon as I hang up, go straight to Piccadilly Circus Station. You will be watched all the way. If you speak to anyone...
Please, I'm not going to do anything to harm my daughter. Just tell me what to do with the money.
At Piccadilly Station, buy a ticket for Uxbridge. And go down the escalators and wait in the hall at the bottom where a man will identify himself to you as Longfellow. Go straight there. Do not talk to anyone.
Your husband not at home?
He went out for a bit of fresh air.
Ah. Mind if we go upstairs?
Not at all.
He isn't working in this area, is he?
No, he isn't working at all. His health.
Oh, yes. I think my wife mentioned that. Asthma.
Yes, chronic. This is the bedroom. Dear me, what mess.
Don't worry about that. This is your room.
My husband's.
That trap door.
Oh, to the attic. Oh, do you want to go up there? The stepladder's in the garage.
I don't think the Clayton girl's up there, do you?
Well, never can tell.
Might have a shufty in the garage, though.
Longfellow? Give me the bag. Where's my daughter?
Give me the bag. Where is she? Shut up and let go! Sorry!
Not much room for a car in here.
We cannot afford a car. My husband keeps a motorbike.
Handy. William Savage, isn't it?
Yes.
Used to work as a taxi driver, I believe.
Yes. He worked all over London.
Well, that's fine. Thank you, Mrs. Savage. I hope I haven't put you to too much trouble.
Oh, not at all. It is a terrible thing, this kidnapping. Is it true that Claytons have been asked for a ransom?
That I couldn't say. No, I thought perhaps you might know about that. You being a medium and all.
Oh, I see. I am holding a séance tonight, in actual fact. Will Mrs. Payne be attending?
Well, she hasn't mentioned it to me. Well, thanks again, Mrs. Savage.
You are welcome.
You took your time.
What?
I nearly called the police.
What do you mean?
Look, noises coming from your sidecar. Customers complain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, making hell of a racket. What you got in there? A couple of cats?
Yeah, cats, 2 of them. I was taking them to the vets. Thank you. Goodbye.
Lost. What took you so long? Has anything happened?
She's awake.
How do you know?
She's been shouting.
How long has she been awake?
Since Cockfosters.
Did anyone hear?
I don't think so. It was a pretty close shave, though.
Let me get changed into the nurse's uniform and I'll take her upstairs. Did you get the money?
Yes, everything worked perfectly. Did the police come?
Where am I?
You're in your hospital room. Do you know where you've been?
I was in an aeroplane. It made me sick.
Oh, no, not an aeroplane. Silly girl. You've been in a special cabinet for treatment. Did you ever see a picture of an iron lung? Well, the cabinet's something like that, but it makes a lot of noise and shakes about.
I'm hungry.
Oh, I'll bring you something to eat. And in the morning, if you're a good girl, you can go home. Well, she's eaten and she's sleeping like a top. Did you clean out the sidecar?
Yes.
Good. Oh, and the money?
In the pantry, as we agreed.
£25,000. Just a lot of money.
And it's all going back tomorrow. When you tell the Claytons your dream about where they can find the girl.
Oh, the plan seems to be working, doesn't it?
Of course, dear. We spent enough time working it out down to the last detail. And by the weekend, the newspapers will be full of how Myra Savage solved the Barnett kidnapping.
But I'm not doing this for me. For fame. My fame might last only a week in the minds of the public. Reputation. That's more enduring. In the minds of those involved in psychical research, my reputation would last forever.
Yeah, but a reputation that rests on a fraud, wouldn't that worry you?
It's cheating, not fraud. Cheating for an honourable end. No worse than when I was working as a clairvoyant. Telling people what they wanted to hear, to make them happy, help them get on with their lives. But I have a higher end in sight. A reputation of spiritualism.
And you won't have to make do with your weekly seances anymore. Who knows? You might even be on the television.
Bill, sometimes I think you have no understanding of me at all.
Sorry, dear.
Help me get ready for tonight. Have you looked in on the girl?
Still sleeping. She won't need any more chloroform.
You're sure? We don't want her waking during the séance.
Well, I hardly think that's likely. You're all normally as quiet as church mice. Anyway, I'll be in there with her, watching you through the peephole as usual.
Ready?
They're all here, Myra.
How many?
Well, 4. Mrs. Turner is grumbling about the cold up there.
Very well. We'll start.
Oh, hang on. Sounds like a latecomer. I'll get it. Oh.
Hello. Am I too late for the séance?
No, in perfect time, actually. Well done, Mrs.
Clayton.
Oh. Come in. Let me take your coat, Mrs. Clayton. It all happens upstairs. If you want to go ahead, my wife will be up soon.
Thank you.
You'll never guess who's here.
Mr. Clayton?
No, Mrs. Clayton.
Oh, I had hoped her husband would come. The wife has no paranormal gifts whatever.
Do you think she suspects anything?
Of course not. It is good that she's come. It strengthens my connection with the affair. But you'd better keep a close watch on the child. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, Mrs. Savage.
And Mrs. Clayton. Nice to see you here.
Hello.
Please sit. Turn the lights off, please. Let us make a circle. Join hands. I must clear my mind of all earthly distractions in order to enter the spiritual dimension. I see a corridor, a yellow corridor with a door at the end. Beyond the door, light. Oh, I am coming, yes. I am coming. I have a message for someone on my left. Someone who has a business problem.
That's me.
You are worried about some property.
Yes.
You have to make a decision about it.
Yes, by Friday noon.
The message I have for you is very explicit.
Who is it from?
You must take into account the prevailing conditions in property. Follow the dictates of reason. Weigh carefully the advice of your solicitor and reach a conclusion satisfactory to your business sense and your integrity.
Yes. Who is it from?
Oh, it's fading. Oh. I am sorry.
Oh.
There is someone here who is worried about a child.
Yes, I am.
You are worried because for the second time she has not come home when expected.
That's right.
You must be of good heart. Your child is safe. She's been taken care of by 3 people. They're not evil, but they do not have her best interests at heart. When can I get her back?
Mummy?
No! Get back into bed!
I can hear my mummy.
Shush! Shush! Please! Shush!
She is in a place that is built of wood. It is warm and dry, and she's being well cared for. You must not fear for her safety.
Yes.
No. For some reason, the 3 people are now better disposed towards her than they were wont to be, and are treating her with courtesy. They seem to be happy about something.
Yes?
Well, there's nothing more. Except that you will see your daughter soon. Very soon. Tomorrow.
Oh,
yes. Yes, tomorrow for certain. You will see your daughter.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, a young lady with a romantic attachment. Dead. 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 Dead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Shall I fetch you a glass of water, Mrs. Savage? No. No, thank you. I'm quite all right now, thank you.
Who is it?
I beg your pardon?
Who is it that's dead? When you went out like a light, you said dead. Who did you mean?
I don't know. I hope you'll excuse me, ladies, but I must cut short this evening's meeting. I don't feel very well.
Good night, Mrs. Savage.
Good night. Thank you
Hope you
so
feel
much.
better.
Thank you, Mrs. Savage.
What shall I give?
Oh, there's no set fee. Just whatever you think.
Oh, will this be all right?
£5 is more than generous. Well, I hope I've earned it.
Oh, I assure you, you have. I feel much better now.
Oh, I am glad.
My husband didn't want me to come. He said I should wait for Adriana. You see, we expected all afternoon to be phoned and told where to go and get her. But I'd have gone mad, waiting all night to hear from these people, and now I can rest easy. We'll have her back tomorrow, won't we?
I will stake my reputation on it.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Savage. And my husband will be relieved too when I tell him what you said. Even though he doesn't think much of this kind of thing.
Oh, he cannot be blamed for that, when so many consider spiritualism to be nonsense. But we know different. Do we not, Mrs. Clayton?
We do. Good night.
Good night. Bill? Bill? Bill?
Oh my God, Bill! What have you done?
How did it happen?
She fell off the bed.
What, head first? Oh, it must have been.
Yes.
Well, then what? Bill! Well, she just died.
Yes.
Instantly.
Yes.
Well, she didn't suffer at all. Well, that is something. You mustn't take this so hard. Accidents will happen. It makes things safer for us. If the police were suspicious that we were involved, they need only bring the girl back here and she'd recognise me. We are actually better off by this development.
No, I suppose we are.
We will have to change the plan, though. But first, Bill, you need to get some sleep.
Mm.
Morning paper.
Yes.
Anything in it?
Where is Adriana? Photograph of Clayton outside his house, looks like.
Oh, I'd rather hope there might be something about Mrs. Clayton attending my séance last night.
No, it doesn't look like it.
My prediction will still be true, of course. I already said that the Claytons would see their daughter again today. I didn't say whether she'd be alive or...
What is it?
Last night. During the séance, you heard me say the word dead, didn't you?
Yes. I expect the others will remember that too.
No, Bill. Do you not see? Why did I say dead? It can only have been a clear case of precognition. My attack, when I couldn't breathe, and my scream in saying the word dead was in fact the moment of dying, experienced simultaneously with the child.
Really? Do you think so?
It's the most powerful and immediate of all the phenomena I've ever produced. But it's late and there's work to be done. Is there plenty of petrol in the motorbike?
Yes.
Well, good. Now, this is the plan. You will take the child away, not to the hut and barking as planned, somewhere else. I think Epping Forest. You will leave her near some sort of landmark, an unusually shaped tree perhaps, or a rock formation, somewhere in an easily pinpointable part of the forest. And then, when you come home, I'll go and telephone the Claytons and the police and the newspapers and describe the place where they can find the child. The next day, you can take the money and leave it at the hut as planned. Have you got that?
Yes.
Well, come on then. There's no time to waste.
Right. Unusual landmarks. Strangely shaped trees. They all look like trees. God, she weighs a ton. Oh. This'll have to do.
Hang on. What's that?
Oh, my God.
Bill! What's happened? Bill! Tell me everything.
Well, I got to the forest, all right. I just picked out a place to leave her when these bloody runners came flying through the trees and I had to...
What?
I had to...
Had to what? Did someone see you? Has the body been found?
Well, I don't think they saw me, but I had my helmet on anyways.
Never mind that. Has the body been found?
Well, yes.
My God. All for nothing. All that for absolutely nothing! Already found. My God.
It was these runners, you know.
Describe it.
Epping Forest, lots of trees.
Describe where you left the girl.
There was a fallen tree, a long one with big red roots.
And where did you leave the girl, exactly?
Right there, by the roots.
And where is the tree, exactly? Which part of the forest?
Northwest corner, about 20 yards in.
There might be time to tell the Claytons before they're notified by the police. There just might. Mrs. Savage? Oh, I am sorry to burst in on you like this, Mrs. Finch, but I have to make a telephone call of the greatest import. Would I be inconveniencing you?
No, not at all. You're very welcome, I'm sure. Phone's right there. Don't mind me.
Oh, thank you.
You will stop and have a cup of tea, won't you? Kettle's just on.
Well, I can only stay a minute or two.
We can have a good old chinwag.
Charles Clayton speaking.
Good morning, Mr. Clayton. This is Myra Savage. I don't know how you'll respond.
Mrs. Savage, please don't think me rude, but I am expecting an important call.
I see. Well, I had this morning, I had what I call a vision, sort of waking dream.
Yes?
It concerned your daughter.
Please get to the point, Mrs. Savage.
I think I know where she can be found. She's surrounded by trees, by many trees, and is close to one that's lying on the ground, uprooted. I'm sure she's in danger. She's dressed all in white, lying quite still, as if sleeping. And I felt there were people moving around her. Young men, moving very fast through the trees.
And what does all this mean, Mrs. Savage?
Well, much of it may be symbolic, such as the uprooted tree, but I am sure the large number of trees can be taken as actual. A wood or a forest, maybe. I would suggest you try Burnham Beeches. It's more or less on your side of London.
Mrs. Savage, I can't go tearing off to every wooded area around the city.
Well, please, just tell the police that they will check. Perhaps if I could speak to your wife.
My wife's resting. I'm sorry, I have to go now. Good day.
I'll be in the sitting room when you're ready, dear.
I just need to make one more call.
Good morning, Chronicle.
I would like to talk to someone who is connected with the Clayton kidnapping.
Is this about the body in Epping Forest?
Yes, that's right.
Thanks, but we already know. Our boys are on their way now.
Oh, I see.
We don't know if it's the Clayton girl for sure, though. Have you got anything on that?
No, not really.
Well, thanks all the same. Bye.
It's all right.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
I was here yesterday, having a chat to your good wife, Detective Sergeant Payne.
Oh, yeah. How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Savage? Nice weather for ducks.
What? Oh, yes. Yeah. Was it, is there something?
Do you mind?
Oh, but
Well, it's nothing really.
Oh.
Just routine checking on that Clayton kidnapping. I wonder if you can remember what you were doing on Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon.
Yes, it was the 17th.
Yes, I remember I was here. I didn't go out at all that day.
I see. Anyone call?
No, I don't think so, no.
It's helpful, you see, to have someone to verify you were at home when you said you were.
No one called, I'm sure.
Well, don't worry about it, Mr. Savage. We ask everyone these questions. Now, your wife tells me you were out for a bit of fresh air yesterday, though, on the motorbike.
Oh, yes.
Go far?
No, just for a spin.
Out for the day, was it?
No, I was back for, just after lunch.
Bit chesty?
Yes, asthma.
You won't have been out today, then?
No.
Well, I won't keep you, Mr. Savage. Good day, sir, and thank you for your time. Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Morning, Mrs. Savage.
Morning. What did he want?
They're suspicious. Very suspicious.
Bye. Of course they're suspicious. That's their job. Suspicion is not proof. There's no way they can connect us with the Clayton child. You'll have no fingerprints on the chauffeur's car. You cannot be identified by him because of your disguise. All evidence that the girl has been here has been destroyed. The chloroform we had for years, and now that's been disposed of. I mean, is there anything else?
No.
I don't think we have anything to worry about. If the police were really suspicious, they'd have arrested us long ago.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I do wish you would try and pull yourself together. I fail to see why you should grieve over someone else's child.
What did you say?
What was that? It's a police car.
Whoa! What do they want now?
Bill, remember, they have nothing more than suspicion.
Oh!
Keep calm.
Me again. The bad penny.
Detective Sergeant.
Sorry to bother you, Mrs. Savage, but I've come with an unusual request.
Well, please come in.
Thank you.
Can't have you catching your death of cold.
No, thank you. Oh, that's better. First of all, I must tell you that the Clayton girl has been found.
I knew it. I told Mrs. Clayton so.
Yes, but unfortunately the child is dead.
Dead?
Oh, dear.
She was found in Epping Forest about 6 hours ago.
Oh, how dreadful. What happened to her?
We're not sure yet. There'll have to be a post-mortem.
Poor thing.
Anyway, the thing is, it seems that Charles Clayton wants to hold a séance. Here.
Mr. Clayton?
Yes. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. I got a call on the radio just now to say that Mr. Clayton and Superintendent Watts of the yard were on their way over. Coming straight here.
You mean now?
Yes. They should be here in about 15 minutes. If that wouldn't be inconvenient.
Of course it's not inconvenient at all. An afternoon séance is rather unusual, but...
My wife says you are a bit unorthodox. Anyway, you could call it a matinee performance.
Yes, I suppose I could.
Righto. I'll just... I'll wait here until they arrive.
Oh, please do. Well, you know the living room, of course.
Yes, thank you.
My husband and I go upstairs and prepare for the séance.
I told you. I told you. They're suspicious.
Possibly. And if so, this proves they have nothing but their suspicions. They're hoping we'll make a mistake and give ourselves away. In which case, they'll be disappointed. However, I'm inclined to the other view.
What do you mean?
I think that they're genuine. They really want my help. Clayton is now convinced of my powers. How could it be otherwise after my predictions coming true? Tomorrow it will be in all the papers about their coming here.
But what will you say at the séance?
Oh, I shall tell them mainly what they already know. I shall describe the blue bag and say it holds something of great value, suggest that it's being argued over. Then I shall say that it'll be found within 2 days. You can take the money to the hut in the morning.
No, please. No, I can't do anything else. No, don't ask me.
God's sake, man. Get a grip on yourself. We are so close. There is nothing to worry about.
This is Mr. Clayton. You know Mrs. Savage, of course.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. Savage.
How do you do?
And Superintendent Watts from Scotland Yard.
Mrs. Savage, Mr. Savage.
Pleased to meet you. I feel... Forgive me, but I feel you have the gift.
Very perceptive of you, Mrs. Savage. As it happens, I am the president of the Southern Society for Psychical Research.
Really? I find it hard to believe that someone so traditionally, well, shall we say hard-headed as a policeman,
would be interested in psychical research. Well, most people with methodical minds laugh the whole thing off as mumbo-jumbo.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say I accept communication with the dead as fact, nor do I discount its possibility. I look at it, perhaps because I am a policeman, in the way the law looks at a man charged with a crime. The law says the man is innocent until proved guilty. I say discarnate agency is not a fact till proved so, and in the meantime keep an open mind on the subject.
Well, your attitude explains the request for a séance. It struck me as strange that the police would want to try this method of getting information.
Actually, that was Mr. Clayton's idea.
Oh.
Yes. After what you told my wife last night and told me on the phone this morning.
He was determined to come here as soon as possible.
Oh, I see. Well, I certainly hope your journey, not to mention your faith, will be justified. Shall we begin? Mr. Clayton, Superintendent?
And your husband, of course.
Me? Oh, I don't get involved in these things.
My husband's not a regular sitter.
I don't think that matters, do you?
Very well. Please, this way. The lights, if you please. Please sit. Let us make a circle. Join hands. I must clear my mind of all earthly distractions in order to enter the spiritual dimension. I see a corridor, a yellow corridor, with a door at the end. Beyond the door, light. Come to us. I am coming, yes. I am coming.
We've been waiting so long. You're Myra.
Oh, is that you, Daddy? I can't see very well. I think the window's frosted. It's very nice here. I think. Nicer than before. I didn't like it before. I was in a horrible old hospital.
Is that you, Adriana?
Yes. Don't cry, Daddy. I don't like it when you're sad.
What happened when you left school?
When I left school? Oh, yes. That was funny. No, it was scary.
What was scary?
A man. A horrible man. He made me blow my nose. It was a smelly hanky. And then I was in the hospital. I didn't like that. The nurse said I was bad. She hit me, but I wasn't bad. I'm never bad. She's French anyway. She said it was a secret, but I don't care.
Where was the hospital?
I don't know. I had a room of my own. It was cold. All white. No windows.
Where did you go after the hospital?
I don't know. I was there a long time. With that Frenchie and the man.
Did the man hit you?
No, but he wouldn't let me shout when I heard Mummy's voice in the next room. I knew she would come to see me. But he wouldn't let me talk to her. He was looking at her through the little hole under the picture of the ballet dancers. And I could hear Frenchie talking in the next room, but I couldn't shout. He held his hand over my mouth. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at all. It was terrible. I thought I was going to die. Really, I did. But I'm all right now.
money, Mr. Savage?
In the kitchen.
Thank you, Mrs. Savage. Well done.
Bill, tell me, did I do it? Did I?
Yes, dear. You did it.
In Séance on a Wet Afternoon by Mark McShane, dramatised for radio by Adrian Bean, Myra was played by Caroline Strong, Bill, Robert Glenister, D.S. Payne, Carl Prekop, Charles Clayton, Nick Underwood, Rita Clayton, Jasmine Hyde, Adriana, Lizzie Watts, Mrs. Wintry, Jane Whittenshaw, and Superintendent Watts, Gerard McDermott. The other parts were played by members of the cast. Séance on a Wet Afternoon was a BBC Scotland production, directed by Bruce Young.